Hey guys, welcome back once again. This is Srikant Rathod here. Today I came up with another topic called simplifying algebraic expressions. So algebra is basically working on the variables and the constants, performing the basic math operations like add, subtract, multiply and divisions. So here what we're gonna check here is we're gonna look at the definitions of the algebraic expressions and how to find the values or the unknowns if they are expecting us to solve, and some examples relating with that. All right, so let's start. As I mentioned, algebra is based on the operation of arithmetic and on the concepts of an unknown quantity or variables. The unknown quantities here we use as the letters x, y, z and so on. So now let's start with the definitions, or what are the terms we're gonna use while simplifying the algebraic expression. So what do you mean by a variable? An unknown quantity in an equation represented by a letter, it's called a variable. So if I take an example, 2x plus 3y is equals to 5. Now this is an algebraic expression with the two unknowns. So that's we can say algebraic equation with two variables where x and y are called variables here. Okay. So what do you mean by the constant? An unchanging numerical quantity, either a number or a letter that represents a number, those are called a constant. So here let me take 2x plus 3y plus 5. So here what are the constants here? 2, 3 and 5 are called a constant. So those are the fixed values, their value doesn't change, but the value of the variable changes as you change the constants, but constants are remaining the same value throughout you solve that expression. Okay, so variable value keeps changing based on the values of the constants. A terms, an algebraic unit consisting of a constant and a variable including any operations other than addition or subtraction. So it's basically a combination of a constants and the variable. It can have any operation apart from addition and subtraction. Such quantity it's called a term. So here I can say 2x plus 3y plus 5. So here 2x is called a one term, 3y is called another term, and the 5 is called the another term. So this expression has three terms in it. Let me consider another example, x plus y. This expression has two terms, so that's x and y. So that if the any quantity is separated by addition or the subtraction and count how many they are considered to be terms. If 2x cube 3y square 4z, if there is a multiplication sign in between, so this can be simplified by 24x cube y square z. This entire thing is considered to be a single term with three variables x, y and z, right? Now what do you mean by a coefficient? Now a coefficient is a constant before the variable in an algebraic expression. So here 2x plus 3y, so 2 is a coefficient of x, and 3 is coefficient of y. So 2 and 3 are called a coefficient. So there may be any letters as well. Okay, so those are called the coefficients. So now if I say 24x square y, I can say the coefficient of y is 24x square, or I can say the coefficient of x square is 24y. So whichever the terms or the variables including the number present along with, those are called the coefficients of the another variable. A polynomial, an algebraic expression consisting of more than one term joined by addition or a subtraction. That expression is called a polynomial. Now 2x square plus 3x plus 4y something, this is a polynomial because this has like the different term joined with the plus or minus sign in between. So polynomial, I can say it's a general name given to algebraic expression, like how we say boys is the general name given, but if I go with the name we have different names. Same thing, a polynomial is the general name, but if we go with the in detail, so we'll be having, depending upon the how many terms that algebraic expression has, we give the different naming. That's like binomial, trinomial, quadrinomial, and so on. All right, a binomial, a polynomial exactly with the two term is called a binomial. So I can say x plus 5, this is considered to be a binomial. 2x plus 3y, this is also considered to be a binomial. X square minus 1, this is considered to be a binomial. Any expression which has only two terms, those are called binomials. If it has three terms, as I mentioned, that's called a trinomial, and so on. So here 2x plus 3y plus 5, this expression is called a trinomial, as it has the three terms, four terms, quadrinomial, and so on. A quadratic expression is a polynomial with one variable whose largest exponent is a 2. A quadratic expression is an equation with one variable and the largest power of that variable should be 2. Such expression are called a quadratic. So if I say 2x square plus 3x plus 4, this is called a quadratic equation because this is equation in one variable called x and the highest power of that variable is 2, where 2, 3 and 4 are representing the constants here. 2 is the coefficient of x square, 3 is the coefficient of x, and 4 is a constant term. And if you equate this expression to equal to 0, that is called a quadratic function or quadratic equation. So in that case, so we need to solve what are the values of x which makes this entire expression equal to 0, and those values of x are called solutions to the quadratic equations or the roots of the quadratic equations or zeros of the quadratic equation. So these are the different terms you may expect in an exam, so it means the same. All right, a root of a polynomial is a value of variable that makes the polynomial equal to 0, as I mentioned. More generally, the roots of an equation are the values that makes the equation true. The roots are also known as zeros, solutions, or x-intercept. So let me take some simple example here. 2x plus a 5 is equals to, let's take 8. 2x plus 5 equals to 8. So what is the solution to this equation? So what is the root of this equation? So you have to solve for x. So to solve for x, minus 5 from both the side, then it becomes, so 2x is equals to 3. Now divide by 3 here. Sorry, divide by 2 and divide by 2 here. So then the value of x is gonna be 3 by 2, or I can say 1.5. So if you substitute the value of x here as 1.5, this entire expression is equal to 8. That is what we say the solution of the equations, and the value of x is called the root or a solution or x-intercept of that given expression. A degree. What do you mean by a degree? The greatest exponent on a variable in a polynomial. So here 5x to the power 4 plus 3x to the power 2 plus a 5. So this is the polynomial with the highest power as 4. So here the expression highest power here, it's gonna be 4. Then I can say this equation has a degree of 4, right? So this is what the definition of degree is. Let's do some examples relating with the definitions what we saw. So the first here example which I have considered here is solving equations. I'll tell you there are like many ways to solve algebraic equations. So but only thing you have to remember here is you have to follow the rule of Bodmas or the PEMDAS. So if you are following this and you can go it in a different way. So at the end definitely you're gonna get the same values. Alright. So let's solve this. This is, let's just check how I solve this. So for simplifying this expression, this is 5 times 3x cube minus 16 minus 22 is equivalent to 18, it says. So first what I'm gonna do here is I just want to simplify as simple it can, then I can use up this simplifying for the variable. So here variable is x and the highest power of x here it's gonna be 3. Then I can say this is the algebraic expression with the degree 3, right? So now what I do, the first step what I'm gonna do here is first separate the constants, that is 22, add 22 on both the sides. So this one and this get cancelled out, then we are getting it as 5 times 3x cube minus 16 is equivalent to 40. Remember I can also multiply 5 times 3 and then multiply this 5 with the entire bracket and then I can simplify. As I told, there are many ways to solve, right? So now we got it as 3x cube minus 16 is equal to 40. And how do we simplify now? So let's, instead of multiplying by 5 and making more complicated, so let's divide by 5. So because if I divide by 5, what happens here? Then it becomes a 3x cube minus 16 is equivalent to 8. So 3x cube minus 16 equivalent to 8 we got. And here now let's take, separate the term like terms, 16 plus 16 on both the sides. So what happens here? Minus and this plus get cancelled out. So we left with 3x cube is equivalent to 16 plus 8 is going to be 24. So we got an expression saying that 3x cube is equivalent to 24. Now I need to solve for x. So divide by 3, divide by 3. So 3 and 3 just get cancelled out. 3 times 1, 3 times 8 makes 24. Then we are getting it as x cube is equivalent to 8. So if x cube is 8, then value of x is gonna be 2. So how you can do it, like, so you can take x is equals to the cube root of 8. So the cube root of 8 it's gonna be 2. So this is the value of x. So we got the value of x here as 2. Okay, let's consider another example. If 9 by 3 is equals to 3 by x plus 2, what is the value of x? So while simplifying this kind of expression, so just do the cross multiplication first, because this expression they have given in terms of a fraction. So just do the cross multiplication and this equation becomes 3 times x plus 2 is equals to 3 times 9, right? So then use the distributive, 3 times x, that gonna be 3x plus 6 is equals to 9 times 3, 27. So arrange the like terms, minus 6 minus 6, what we gonna get? Cancel. 3x is equals to 21. As I'm looking for the value of x, so divide by 3 on both the sides. So it gives 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 7 it's gonna be 21. So the value of x here it's gonna be 7. So it means if you substitute the value of x here as 7, then that makes these both of the expressions are equal with each other. So instead of doing all this, so in a competitive exam, so you can think it in a this way, how, for what value of x I can make this expression is equivalent to this. So we have 3 by 9 is equals to 3 by something. So we have x plus 2. So 3 in the numerator, 3 is also here in the numerator. Then how do I do, what would be the value of x? Then I can say how come this term to be equal to 9? So you can just add, or you can consider the value of x as 7. 7 plus 2, it makes 9. So then it becomes 3 by 9 equal to 3 by 9, right? So here we can say the value of x here as 7. So this is how you can solve in a competitive exam, as it's the time is an important factor there. Let's consider another example here. X by 2 is equals to 2x plus 4. So again, how do we do this? X by 2 equals to 2x plus 4. Many students get confused here. So there is nothing here to do the cross multiplication. Then how do we solve? So remember, if there is nothing, it means 1 is the multiple of any number, and the 1 is the divisible, divider of any number. So I can keep the denominator of this expression here as 1. Now just do the cross multiplication. So this is becomes 1 times x is going to be x itself. Then we can say 2 times 2x plus 4. X is equals to 2 times 2x is gonna be 4x plus 8. I'm looking the value of what? I'm looking the value of x. So to get the value of x, what should I do? I have to arrange the terms. Arrange the term, it meaning, let's say minus 4x minus 4x, then we get this term and this term get cancelled out. X minus 4x, it's gonna be minus 3x is equivalent to 8, but I'm looking the value of only x, not of minus 3x or minus. So I have to divide both the side by negative 3, so that gives you the value of x as negative 8 by 3. So this is how you solve the value of x. All right. Okay, let's consider another example here. 3x square minus 7 divided by 17 is equivalent to 4. Then x, what is the value of x? So just again do the cross multiplication. Denominator here is 1, so just do the cross multiplication here. Then the expression become 3x square minus 7 is equals to 17 times 4, right? 3x square minus 7 equals to 17 times 4. Then simplify it further. What we gonna get? 3x square minus 7 is equals to 17 times 4. It's gonna be 68, right? 17 times 4, it's gonna be 68, and we are looking to solve for x. So add 7 on both the sides, so you're gonna get cancelled, reduct of this one. 3x square is equals to what we gonna get, 68 plus 7, it's gonna be 75, right? So 3x square is equivalent to 75. Now divide by 3, what we gonna get? What is the value of x square? We gonna get x square is equals to 3 times 1, 3 times 2, it's gonna be 6. 1 is carry forwarded. 3 times 5, it's gonna be 15. Then we can say that value of x square, it's gonna be 25. But we are looking what is the value of x. X square is equals to 25. It means the value of x is gonna be plus or minus 5. Whenever you take the square, whenever you get rid of square, then it means the value of that number may be plus or minus. Why I'm saying that is x square equals to plus or minus equals to 25? Because see, if you're taking the square root of a 5, that makes 25, and the square root of negative 5 also makes a 25. I'm getting the 25 as the number, but the number may be either positive 5 or negative 5. Here I don't know this 25 is because of positive 5 or negative 5. That's why we consider this 25 maybe because of both positive and the negative x, that is the positive and the negative 5. So this is how we get. To get the value of x, we say x is equals to square root of 25, that's same as plus or minus of 5. This is the value of x, how we solve. Okay, let's consider some other type of questions which involving radicals. Yeah, The many students, they get confused with simplifying an expression with the radicals or the roots involved in it. So here I have just taken some examples. So the first expression I have considered a root of x is equals to 4. Then what is the value of x? If the root of x equals to 4, then what is the value of x? What is x? So how you solve this? So here we have to get rid of that square root, and to get rid of that square root you have to square on the both the side of our expression. So here square root of x is equals to 4 when I say. So to get rid of this, so we have to square on both the sides. So don't just do one side, so you have to both the side because you have to balance it. So x square, square root of x square times this is gonna be square here. So square root and its square become just x, and 4 square it's gonna be 16. So the value of x what we gonna get here is 16, right? So now let's consider here x square is equals to 16. Then what is the value of x? What is x? Question. So to get rid of this square, so we can say that x can be written as a square root plus or minus square root of 16. As I told, why I'm mentioning plus or minus, because the 16 is basically a perfect square. So 16 is like 4 square is 16. It may be because of plus 4 or minus 4. So to get rid of the square we have to write plus or minus sign in front, and you have to take the square root of that number. So x is equals to plus or minus 4. There are two values of x. So as the highest power of the variable x is 2, so there are two values of x, which makes this expression is equal to 16. So that's the value of x. Sometime if they say something x square is equals to 16 and x is greater than 0 or less than 0, accordingly you have select the values, right? Okay. Let's consider another example. Square root of 2k square plus 17 minus x equals to 0. Here they have mentioned if k is greater than 0 and the value of x is 7. So see, whenever you are getting the roots in an expression, your main point is you have to get rid of it. And for getting rid of that square root or cube root, whatever it is, you have to square or cube based on the type of root. But don't square it as it is. The first thing is separate the term or the expression relating entire with the root, and the other take all other variables to the other side or modify it. So here this expression can be simplified now as, because if I keep this entire expression as a square to get eliminating the square root, after simplifying then you will be getting like you one of the term will be coming along with the square root of 2k square plus 17 as it is. So we have to get rid of it. So to get rid of it, so what I can do here is I can simplify this as square root of 2k square plus 17. This x is out of this root, okay, then I can write this equivalent to x. Now you can square on both the side, or before that you can substitute the value of x. So this is square root of 2k square plus 17 is equals to x, let me just substitute its value, that is 7. A square on both the side, so square and the square root get cancelled out, then you are getting it 2k square plus 17 is equals to 7 square, it's gonna be 49, right? So the 2k square is equals to 49. So we have to arrange the like terms. So minus 17 from the both of the side, then it's gonna be 49 minus 17, right? So 2k square is equals to what we gonna get here, 9 minus 7, it's gonna be 2, 4 minus 1, it's gonna be 3. So we are getting the value here as 2k square is equals to 32. Divide by 2, divide by 2 here. So 2 times 1, 2 times 6. So we are getting here as k square is equivalent to 16. What is the value of k now? So how do you get rid of it? So you have to put square root on this side. So k is equals to plus or minus square root of 16. So k is equals to plus or minus 4. But here they mention that the value of k is greater than 0. If k is greater than 0, it means I can't consider the value of k as negative here. So we have to consider k as 4. So the value of k here it's going to be 4. So this is C is the right answer. So this is how you get a type of question based on the simple algebraic expression. So in the next video, I'll be discussing about the more complex equations like equation with one variable, two variable and distributive properties. All those going to be discussed in the next class. All right. So thank you so much for watching.